Hey y'all, today we're going to make a sour cream pound cake with cream cheese icing. And I'm not a huge cake person, but I do love sour cream pound cake and I love birthday cake. And I like a dense cake. I don't care as much for a light and fluffy cake. So I'm hoping that this turns out fairly dense, but we'll see. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take my tube pan and I'm going to grease it and then flour it. And what I do is I use Crisco, and I take a paper towel that I folded up and I get some Crisco on it. This is just to kind of help my hands not get so greasy and oily. And just grease my pan. Be sure and get everywhere on the pan so that your cake will come out real pretty and golden with a nice crust on it. And so I'm just making sure I'm getting it all done, hopefully. And this is what it looks like, if you can see. And then I'm going to take some flour, and I just have about 1/4 of a cup of flour in here, and I'm going to just drop it into the pan. I'll go ahead and put the camera down so that you can see, and I am doing this completely backwards so I can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to have to kind of turn it toward me a little bit. But you just spin and get your pan coated. And then I just kind of I'm going to have to do this over the sink, but I kind of beat it or tap it all down to where I can get it to come into my hand, and then I throw it back on the center ring. So let me try that real quick. And then just give it a tap, and that'll get all the excess off. And so there you have your greased and floured pan, and I'll set that aside. And I'm running out of space. Now take your bowl with your 2 sticks, 1 cup of softened butter, and you want to mix that. And I'm sorry for the sound of the mixer, but I'll try to hurry. So what you were doing there was creaming your softened butter. Then take the sugar. You need 3 cups of sugar. I'm using Splenda because my husband's diabetic, so I'm trying to make this where he can have some of it. And Splenda is real lightweight and flyaway. So just take a little at a time, mix it in, add a little more. butter mixed in. And now we have 6 eggs. And I've already opened those and put them in the bowl. And I'm going to drop those in one at a time and beat after each one. Now I have beaten the eggs in real well, and so we're going to take flour, and I'm using self-rising flour. Some people use plain flour and then they add salt and baking powder with theirs, which gives you self-rising flour. So I just skipped the step of adding the salt and the baking soda or baking powder, and I just use self-rising flour. So it's 3 cups of self-rising flour, 1 cup of sour cream, and about a tablespoon of vanilla. And you add these, I'm going to break it up a little bit and mix alternately. So we'll get started with that. And you know, I don't measure a whole lot. This is 24 ounces of sour cream, so that's 1/3 of this container. So I'm going to put half of what I think goes in here, and then I'll put the other half in a minute. Now I'm going to add, I usually put a little more vanilla than what's called for because I like the taste of vanilla. So I'm going to put that and the rest of the sour cream. So that's about a cup right there. So I'll mix it in, then I'll put the rest of the flour. And so you don't want to overbeat it, and when everything gets incorporated together, then you should stop beating. This is a thick batter, So if you make this and your batter's thick, that's the way it should be. So sometimes I'll spin this and try to get that off. And sometimes it goes all over me like it just did. But that's okay. Sometimes it does good and will go right in the pan, but this isn't the case today. Anyway, I'm just kind of mixing a little bit of the flour and stuff that was on the side of the bowl, just getting that mixed in, and I'm getting ready to put it in the tube pan or bundt pan. So here it is. Try not to get it on the walls of your pan. You'll have little burnt places. And this looks like it will be a dense pound cake. So I'm going to swipe the spatula. Now I'm going to kind of spread it out a little bit. And I don't know if it's something that you should or should not do, but my mom was an excellent cake maker, and she would always, before she put her cake in the oven, she would drop it on the counter a couple times to like get out air pockets and stuff. And that's what I'm gonna do. So that kind of straightened it out a lot, where it was a little wavy. But anyway, here's the cake. I'm going to put it in the 325 degree oven for 1 hour and 25 minutes. And when it's done, I'll come back and icing it, and we'll have a taste. So I'll be back shortly. We're going to go ahead and make the icing, the cream cheese icing for the sour cream pound cake. Then we're going to icing the cake and have a taste. So I put 1 brick of cream cheese, this is Philadelphia brand cream cheese, into my bowl. And to that 1 brick of cream cheese, we're going to put 4 tablespoons of milk. And I don't measure as a rule, but when you add liquid to confectioner sugar, it can get out of hand real quick, and you can just get it so thin that you're never hardly able to thicken it up. So I always like to measure my liquid to my cream cheese. So I'm going to go ahead, the cream cheese is softened, and I'm going to go ahead and beat that up real quick. So that could be beaten up more, but it's fine. I just hate for y'all to have to hear that sound. So that's beaten up fine. And here is 2 cups of confectioner sugar, or some people call it icing sugar. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it all in there. And I'm going to mix this up until it's smooth. and so that came off pretty good. So there's still some confectioner sugar around the edge, so I'm just going to kind of incorporate that by hand. And that doesn't take much to get that mixed up. Now I'm going to show you the cake. That's finished. That's all you have to do to that. So here's the pan we used, and as you can see, the cake came out good and clean. So there's that. And here's the cake. And all I did was take my plate and turn it upside down on the tube pan, and then once I had it upside down, I held on to both and flipped the cake over, and this was on here, so I put my hand on it, flipped it over like this, except it was opposite, and then put my plate back on it, and that's how I got it up like that. So now all I'm gonna do, and this is still a little bit warm, so this will make the icing kind of spread out just a little bit. I'm not really gonna icing it, you know, smooth and pretty and all that. I'm just gonna put this around on it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Once I get all this on there, then I'll kind of spread it around. And so, and with a little bit of time and the cake being warm, it'll start going down the sides just a little bit. And this to me makes just the right amount of icing. You still get to taste the icing and what the cake tastes like. I am kind of pushing it over the side just a little bit to give it a little bit of help. Don't worry, that will not go to waste. And so this is what the cake looks like with the icing. And now I meant to have a plate out, but I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece and we'll see what it tastes like. And so here's what it looks like. I tried to make it stand up, but it didn't. But I'm gonna get a piece, or take a bite. It looks like it is, excuse me, it looks like that it is somewhat dense. Here's the bite. That is so good. It's not real dense. It's really good though. Excellent flavor. You would never know that I use Splenda instead of sugar. That is so good. Well, thank you for Excuse me for talking with food in my mouth. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you get a chance to make it, and I hope you enjoy it. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.